Hey everyone, the professor here, and welcome back to my channel. Now today we are going to do a full analysis of crude oil, and inside this video I'm going to give you some massive value when it comes to learning a little bit more about structure, because if you understand structure, then you have a better idea on the direction of the market. So let's go ahead and jump right into our full crude oil analysis video. Okay, so we are sitting on the daily time frame, and again, if you look up in the upper left hand corner, okay, you can kind of see that this is the chart that I will be using for this video based on the light sweet crude oil future spot, and we are sitting on the 1 daily time frame. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump a little bit first into structure of the daily chart. And I think this is a key component. Remember that the institutions are not trading on a 5-minute chart. They're not trading on a 15-minute chart. They're not trading on a 1-hour chart. They are trading on a daily and weekly basis. And so it's important for you to understand structure at the higher time frames. So as we get into the daily, the first thing I want to do is show you our top on the daily and then our most recent bottom. Now, this is a huge area. We are talking between 94 and back in September of 2023 to a floor of December 2023. Now, as we begin to kind of widen this chart a little bit, what I want to do is just develop some huge structure points, meaning points where structure was broken, okay, and price went in the opposite direction. Okay, so first thing I want to do is just mark up these levels, and then we're going to be walking through some structure points as we climb the ladder here from our highs and lows. So as we look at this chart, and we're just going to focus in on this section right here from the initial high of September 23 to the low of December 2023. And then we're going to go ahead and begin to zoom in to our structure points. So we can see here that once this level of structure, okay, was broken to the top side, okay, in this particular level here in February of this year, then price took off to the top side, right? We went up one level, we broke that level, we came back to retest that level, we broke that level, we came back to retest that level, and then we went up to the next major level. Now we're on the flip side of those levels. So here we had this level marked up at about 84, let's just say, okay? We had price come below that level, break this level, come back and retest the level, come down to the lower level, price came back up one more time to retest that level, and then this is now where we are currently at. This was the daily candle close that happened last Friday, okay? So levels are very important to understand, and I'm going to keep the structure of these levels, and what you should do is, if you need to pause this video, is go ahead and pause the video, mark up your chart, whether you're sitting on a futures chart or whether you're sitting on a Forex chart. You want to go ahead and pause the video if needed and mark up these levels. Now, maybe your pricing is different on the left because every broker has a different price. That's okay, because all you have to do is find these exact same structure points, and then you will be okay. So we have this structure in here now. So as we begin to now zoom in a little bit on the daily, right, it is pretty clear that since, let's just say, May 1st, okay, and we just finished the month of May 2024. So here we can see that in May, we literally stayed between 75.50 and let's just call it 80.30. Okay, we ranged in this entire area during the month of May. So until we see evidence that price is going to close above the 80-30 level or below the 75-50 level, we will continue to trade within this area. Now, before we get back into the analysis, think about this. You probably waste $28 a month on bad food and bad habits. Imagine if you turned that $28 and you invested in yourself to join a trading community with over 200 traders so that you can connect with others and you can have 24/7 concierge. Yes, 24/7, where people are on the chats, they're talking about trading, they're showing charts, and you're getting guidance and mentorship, not just from me, but from other members in the community. So a small investment of less than $1 a day will make a huge difference in your trading journey, because trading is hard, but trading by yourself is even harder. So we're going to invite you today to come into our community, take a look at our chat zone, take a look at our trade alerts, take a look at our live videos, take a look at our Trader's Toolbox, and invest in yourself, because you have two choices in life. You can try to go the free route and take an extra 4 to 6 years to learn something, or you can invest in yourself and expedite those results in a community of like-minded people. So I hope you will check out theprofessortrades.com today. Come in, be a part of our family member where everyone has a voice and everyone is learning together in our community. Okay, so we are back on the daily chart still. And what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and extend this bottom level here so you have it. And then I also want to give you the visual of the current playing field that we are going to be playing. Okay, this is still going to be the area that we are playing until we have proof that price is going to break out of this area right in here. And this has been a tremendous area, because we as a trading community have been both buying and selling from this 500 point area. Okay, so now as we drop down to the 8 hour, we can see the price action obviously much clearer. Okay, and again, we have a lot of strategies that we are using, okay, inside of our group. We are obviously providing all of the data for you to make a well-rounded decision, aside from quick, hey, get in and buy now or sell now based on price action. So again, we've been looking at these key levels, okay? The key levels have not been closing to the top side, or they have not been broken to the bottom side. So actually, when you have these levels happening here, this actually makes trading a lot easier. The hard part is your mental toughness, meaning the hard part is the trade psychology as far as what should your entry size be. And again, we practice a 20 pip challenge each and every day that we're giving our members 20 pips with one trade, not just with crude oil, but with all the indices, gold, and some of the Forex traders are receiving trade alerts on the Forex side as well. So the goal is to secure 20 a day, grow that account, and then move on to other pips. But again, the over trading is always a problem with many traders. So we talk a lot about trading psychology inside of our group. So now we want to focus in on this 4 hour chart, okay? Because this 4 hour chart, we begin now to mark up the different levels that we've seen. So if we look right here, right, we had a touch point right here where the market fell. And then we had another touch point here where the market fell. This touch point and this touch point was also an area of support that happened here, an area of support that happened here, an area of support that happened here. Now we will tweak these areas, okay, as we move down in time frame, okay? So we'll begin to look at structure on a smaller time frame, because the time frame that you're trading on always will have a built-in structure. So for example, if we are dropping now to the 1 hour chart, right, we can begin to see these structure points, and we could just make little tweaks here to see that here we had what was previous resistance here, turned support right here. And hopefully, let me grab my eyeglass. Everybody can see that. This was previous resistance where price dropped. This was previous support where price went up. And so we like to look at these levels on what I call a multi-level area, meaning a multi-time frame area, because that validates for us a lot of the things that we do. And when we look for our reversals, we obviously are using Fibonacci. We're using our SAR method. So again, if you want to just have constant coaching, constant mentoring, constant chats, 24/7 concierge of services, another reason why to invest $28 in yourself, which is all I charge on a monthly plan, because I want to make it accessible to all countries, to everyone involved who wants to learn this, because this could be the ticket to a much easier financial life. Not a get rich's life, but a much easier financial life for you and your family. Okay, so we are now sitting at this 1 hour level here. And again, it simply becomes a matter of whether price is going to break and close above this level, okay, and then go up to our next level. Okay, so we would be looking for something like this to the top side where price, eventually comes up, retests, and then moves up in this direction right in here, similar to what happened over here as well. Okay, but again, we are constantly talking about these things. So we are going to leave this chart right here, and we are sitting on the 1 hour level right in here. So I'm going to mark these up now, just make them a little bit thicker, because remember that zones are never going to be an exact line. Okay, so when you mark up a zone, you have to be plus or minus, 10, 15 pips or ticks, because it's never an exact line. So you want to use other strategies. And if you're just a support and resistance trader, you will win over 80% of your trades, especially with crude oil, right? It's just the discipline to maybe realize that price is now broken a level and you have to close one trade and go to another. And again, we use, a lot of Fibonacci. These are the kind of charts that I share every day, 2 or 3 times a day with our group. And so we as a group are always kind of sitting in this 78 to 88.6 area, which crude oil loves, because anything below the 100 would be a reversal of that current trend. And so as a matter of fact, many traders took this buy, when it happened on Friday, even though for me personally, Friday is a non-trading day, and they were able to catch, a good 50 to 100 points from this buy area right in here. So again, that's the advantage of trading in a community. If you didn't know that, you were given that information in the group in real time. So we are not going to sit here in this particular area. Now, if we're looking at this trend here, again, we did not close below the 100 fib level. So when we look at this trend right here, we are still in this consolidation area, if you will, ranging between 80.5 to 75.5 on crude oil. Okay, so we have to continue to use our strategies to do that. And we have a couple of easy tools that we give our members, kind of like a very SAR flips to make it much easier for you, a little bit more of an aggressive flip. So we have things to make your trading journey much, much easier. What you have to worry on as an individual is going to be your trading discipline. And that's why we talk about so much about market psychology. The buys and the sells become pretty routine in our group. It's your trading psychology about not giving pips back. I ask a question at the end of almost every trading day in our group. I put up a poll in our private app. Did you secure 20 pips today in that 20 pip challenge, which I give you a growth chart when you first join? You get a video, you download it, you put in your amount that you're starting with, and it'll give you everything that you need to just follow the chart. And overwhelmingly, usually about 10 to 15% of people, when I give the option of I made it, but I gave it back, is checked in that poll question, because we make the profit, but our personal greed takes over, right? Wanting to make more money when the market just gave you the pips that you needed for the day. And that growth chart will show you 20 pips a day over a span of 2 years. If you're just starting with $200, will turn you into a 6 figure trader. So we're giving you all that information for your very small investment as well. So again, we are going to be looking at this area here. So as we drop down now to the 15-minute time frame, again, this is where inside of our members area, you're going to be getting updated charts. You're going to be getting support and resistance at these different levels. I'm not going to mark it up right now on this video, but again, if you're a member of the club, we'll be marking up these other levels as well, where we've seen previous support and resistance. So this is going to be our gap for Sunday, okay? And so again, I kind of explain this every Sunday on these videos for our YouTube community as well, that gaps can stay open for a few minutes, a few hours, a few days, but it's very important that you do not over leverage if you're going to take a gap trade. So we trade live every Sunday at 6 p.m. when the markets open. We look at crude oil, we look at NASDAQ, US 30, which is YN over on the future side. We look at ES, which is SP 500. We look at gold. And so if there's any viable gaps that meet our trading standards within the community, then we trade those gaps together. We go over the plan. This is live privy analysis inside of the trading app. So again, another way for you to connect and look at these gaps. But again, these gaps have to have a certain limit for us to take it. So basically what happens is if price opens up here, right, the difference between where price opened to where price closed, that is considered the gap. And then vice versa, if price closes down, or I'm sorry, opens down here for Sunday, right, and then eventually makes its way up here, that's considered then closing the gap. So the price difference between close and where it opens is considered the gap for crude oil, if there is one on a particular Sunday. And again, we talk about those rules. We'll tell you, hey, I'm getting in here. We do all that stuff on the Sunday live analysis as well. And it's just another way for you to make some profits starting the week. We talk about over leveraging. You don't want to over lot size because again, these gaps with crude oil can stay open a few hours into London session or even 24 to 48 hours. So you want to make sure that you don't over leverage when it comes. Okay, so the overall trend on this wave that you see over my shoulder, it is still a bearish trend. And this is why we mostly sat on sells for most of the week last week. So we're going to need to see price close above this 77, let's say 30 area if we're expecting price to come up to the next major level up here. Remember that every Fibonacci level also works as support and resistance, but on a bigger time frame, we would expect price to go back up to 78.50 once we can close above 77.30. And if this rejects again, then we're anticipating price to coming down back to at least $76 on this particular chart. Okay, so I hope you got some value on this video. Again, the real value is going to be in a small investment in yourself. Join our trading family, because that's what we are. We celebrate birthdays, we celebrate you, we celebrate success, we learn from failures. That's what a healthy trading community does. So I hope to see you in there as well. And if you got some value, hit that like button for me as well. If you have any questions or you want to see any new topics discussed on my channel or any particular pairs, if you want a full analysis on, drop those down below in the comments. And if we get enough interest for one particular pair, then I'll start including that analysis as well. Be healthy. Don't forget to be kind to someone this week, preferably a stranger, someone you don't know. Pay it forward. Buy someone a cup of coffee. Say hello. Give someone a hug. Do something well for someone expecting nothing in return, right? If you can act with random acts of kindness, then we can spread that love in the world, which is much, much needed. Don't forget to practice your faith. Stay connected in your faith, because at the end of the day, what your bank account says, what the cars say outside, the size of your home will not matter, but your faith and your journey in your faith will. Thanks for watching. Have a great trading week, and I'll see you on the inside.